Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 Genetically Modified Overkill run. Hope you're all doing well. Today, we're trying out a build that can't heal and takes double damage from every attack, the combination of the Ghost and the Golem. Ghost has a ton of armor reduction, so you take almost double damage from every single incoming attack. Golem can't heal, but gets bonuses to its HP. The bonuses to armor that you get from the Golem are actually a downside, because Ghost has such high negative starting armor. So I'm really interested to see how this build plays out. Normally, you want to build the Ghost to heal in between the hits that you take in order to make sure that you don't get just two-shot and die, but we won't be able to do that. So we'll see whether this build is viable at all. I'm going to go with the Ghost Scepter, because of course we're playing the Ghost, and because the Golem gives us additional HP, we can potentially build more extra HP with the Golem. I'm taking these hits on purpose because I want to get my HP down to half with the Golem, because that way I might be able to kill enough enemies wave 1 with the attack speed bonus to actually get a bonus HP, and we did actually manage to get bonus HP out of the Ghost Scepter. Normally, it is not possible to kill 20 enemies with the Ghost Scepter on wave 1, but because we were able to reduce our health and have the Golem attack speed buff, we did kill 20 enemies for a little bit more money and bonus HP. It did mean I gave up on killing that tree, so maybe that wasn't worth it, and I should have just targeted the tree, but this seemed safer, and I wanted to show off that strategy. You can see we have 30% dodge and minus 133 armor, which is just going to get worse as we buy more ethereal weapons, so we take 90% extra damage from every single attack. Here I'm going to roll. I'm looking for harvesting. I missed a couple times. I will take just some luck. Luck is also going to be good. It's a little worse on this character than on other characters because we can't use consumable healing, and that's one of the things that luck does, of course, is give you consumable healing. But it's still just a great stat, so we want as much of it as possible. Unfortunately, missed on a 4th scepter, but we got 3 here, so let's go to the next wave. The bonus damage that we get on the scepters from the ghosts, the high base damage that you get on ethereal weapons, should help. The high dodge, though, is making it harder for me to deliberately tank damage, because as I walk into these enemies, I'm not able to reduce my health as much. Normally, on characters that want to reduce their health, I don't think that's a huge problem, but for this character who wants to get its health very low in the early waves, that can be a concern. Let's roll here, and we'll take some harvesting to get that going, and if I roll into a 2nd scepter, we'll be able to buy 2. Unfortunately, we missed here, so let's roll again and lock another scepter. So a little unlucky on our early rolls for weapons, but hopefully we can recover from that. The early waves shouldn't be that difficult, because you don't normally have any healing at this point anyways. So the downside of this character is mitigated, and the upside is pretty high, just having a bunch of bonus health from the Golem and the bonus attack speed and move speed when we get below half. So there we go. Let's see if we can kill that curse alien. Nice. Getting that early curse alien kill was really nice. And we made 100 materials. No, I guess we had like 20 in the bank, so we didn't quite make as many materials as it looks like we did here, because we banked a lot last wave. Let's roll again. I'm looking for harvesting. I'll take 6% dodge, though. We are going to need the bonus dodge, and we'll take 10 luck as well. Then let's get all of these items and roll. Lock another scepter. Very happy to have found this scepter, because we really want to boost our ethereal weapon levels as quickly as we can, because, of course, the amount of HP, or amount of kills you need to gain HP reduces, as well as the weapon itself getting better. It gets better attack speed, gets better base damage, so really important to level your ethereal weapons when you're doing an ethereal weapon build. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get ourselves to half health. So I have to admit, and I like to try to do this when I have played even part of a run off camera, I have to admit that I had one previous attempt at recording this run, but I ran into a crash error. It turns out that in the current version of GMO, if you buy Weird Ghost on the Golem, it sets your max HP to negative, and the game just crashes. So I had to stop and try again here. Let's roll, and I'll take attack speed. Attack speed is really important for Ghost Scepters. Then we will buy all of these items and then roll. Another Ghost Scepter is perfect. Max HP is really important, but I don't think that defective steroids is the way to get it. In fact, we probably shouldn't spend money on max HP. We should just get it from our scepters. Fertilizer is a great find, though, as is Metal Detector, so very happy with this shop. Metal Detector early like this should be pretty valuable. With our bonus damage from the Ghost on the scepters, we should still have pretty good wave clear. So even if we reduce our percent damage a little bit early, we should be able to generate a decent amount of bonuses from that. I need to be a little careful here, because I can get myself to half health by walking into these enemies, but as you can see, every hit we take is a fifth of our health. So if I'm not careful, and if I tank 2 more hits here, then I will just die. And I did, in fact, lazily immediately tank another hit, but luckily it was near the end of the wave. So I think I'm going to stop deliberately reducing my health at this point. You could get a little greedier than I am and go for more of that, and that would be fine. But because I am concerned that I'm going to play badly and lose, I'm going to just play this one a little safer. 7% crit chance, that is a pretty nice boost to our damage. Crit chance is usually the last damage stat that you want. You usually want to buy attack speed and flat damage first, then percent damage, and then crit chance last. But 7% is a lot. The alternative is to just take 5 harvesting here. We have a fertilizer locked in the shop, so that would get me to 21 harvesting, which means it would start growing faster. I think I'm going to take the crit chance because it's a level 3 upgrade, but that's closer than it might look at first glance. Let's roll here, and we will again take the scepter. I'll lock the little frog. It does cost me dodge, which we really want to get our dodge to 90% as soon as possible. But 10 harvesting and the pickup range is also good. Really good to get this early, so pretty happy with that. I don't really want the saltwater. 3 attack speed is just not enough to spend 80 on, and the 10% speed when we take damage, we hope not to take that much damage, so we're going to try to just avoid tanking damage. I'm going to roll here because this is the last shop, wave 5, where we're guaranteed to see at least 1 weapon in the shop, and I was hoping to level up my scepters. Unfortunately, missed, but we should be able to get those leveled up pretty soon. You can see that because... So one thing you can do on ethereal builds, by the way, is level up just 1 weapon or stay at like only 2 ghost scepters for a while in order to try to maximize the number of kills that each individual scepter gets. And that way you can stack up a few more points of stats in the very, very early waves. I tend to think that you're better off just maximizing your wave clear by having more weapons rather than getting like 1 extra HP. In the early waves, because the extra money and levels, which will also give you more health, are going to be worth more than the 1 extra HP, especially for Ghost Scepter. It's a little more worth stacking up attack speed or damage from the axe or the knife. But the Ghost Scepter in particular, I think you get enough HP from it later on that you don't need to worry about min-maxing the HP early. It's more important to focus on your economy and your wave clear. Corrupted Shard, of course, excellent. We've actually managed to kill a lot of Curse aliens, so we're already up to 7 Curse, which is nice. And I do want range damage. I'm going to take the 12% damage here. I was looking at this armor like, ooh, 2 armor, but of course at minus 139 armor, we're not buying any armor. But I'm just going to take the percent damage, because our percent damage is negative. We definitely want to increase that. Very, very happy to see a small magazine here. This is the number 1 item for basically every single character using a ranged weapon, so it's awesome here. Hake is a pretty efficient way to buy 3 health, but like I said, I don't think we really want to spend money on health, so I'm just going to roll past it and try to lock some other good weapons or items. And I'm very happy to lock all of these. The Sharp Bullet is incredible with Ghost Scepters. Piercing damage is really important for these weapons, because not only does it help their clear speed, it also helps each individual scepter get more kills, so very nice to get piercing. And of course the HP and move speed and damage on the metal are good. Peaceful V gives us dodge, which we need, and harvesting, which is nice. It does cost me a range damage, but I think it's worth the penalty. And levels on our scepter are great, so that whole shop is awesome for us. Hopefully we make enough money this wave that we can afford all of it. Because if we could buy the whole shop of great items and get a free reroll, we would be winning, coming and going. Look at our character also. That is a very odd look for the character with the whistle there. That walrus eating so many attacks from my scepters, it stings to fight the high health enemies on an ethereal weapon build, because you just spend so many attacks on not getting stats out of your items. Now that I've taken a bunch of hits, I'm actually going to try to take one more hit, I think, just on purpose here, but the enemies were not being obliging, but I was hoping I could get a little attack speed there. And because I did get that attack speed, I actually got some HP out of my weapons there. Knot remains my least favorite item in the game. Obviously, all of these stats would be good, but the knot is such a... it's a severe penalty, an extremely dangerous penalty to remove your ability to upgrade weapons, but also, it just feels bad. And I think I avoid taking Knot even in cases where I should take it because it just feels bad to play with. I think we have enough money to buy all of these, so let's go ahead and buy those, and then get a reroll. Ooh, a Cursed Ghost Scepter. That's amazing. Cursed Ghost Scepter is excellent here because it will take many fewer kills in order to upgrade our HP, and also it just is a better weapon on all fronts. It scales better, does more damage, gives us additional curse. So this was an incredible find, and we'll lock the coffee as well, which is also an incredible find. So I think what's going on with the crash, by the way, is that I think that characters with max HP modifiers are potentially messing up the Weird Ghost in GMO. And for whatever reason, when you pick the Weird Ghost with Golem, it crashes. I don't know if it's because the max HP modifier is making it set my HP to negative, so the game is crashing because I have negative max HP, or if it's something to do with not being able to heal, like maybe the way Weird Ghost works in the back end is by reducing your HP to minus a billion and then raising it back up to 1, but it's crashing because it can't do that. I haven't looked at the code or anything. I'm just speculating here, but I'm curious as to why it crashes with the Golem in GMO. Take the Dangerous Bunny here, and then let's go ahead and pick up some percent damage, which is very low right now. And I'll grab 6 move speed. I really want to improve my move speed also. Take the coffee. Attack speed is so important for this character. I'm going to take the improved tools as well. Then we're going to roll here. This fairy doesn't do anything, so we will be passing on that. Roll again. Feather I will take. This is both dodge and range damage, which we're very happy with. And small fish will help us kill enemies without having to spend multiple attacks on them, so we're more likely to generate stats from our weapons. So far, the level 3 scepter has given us 13 stats, and the cursed one only 1 stat, so interesting that that's how that worked. Obviously, we've had the level 3 for longer. It's always funny seeing which weapons get the distribution. A question I get sometimes is, why don't I use weapon highlighting to see which weapons are which levels? The answer is that I just got used to playing without it, and when I turned it on, I found it distracting. I might turn it on at some point, again, just to experiment, but I'm pretty happy with, playing the game the way that I've played it for hundreds and hundreds of hours. So here you can see that we are struggling a little bit to clear the wave because of the really high health enemies. Luckily, the amount of HP that we have means even if I tank a hit, it's not that big a deal. Currently. As we get into later levels and the enemies are hitting for, 100 damage a shot, that's going to be more of an issue. Take the Cyclops Worm here, and then we will reroll. I'll take 7% more crit chance. The crit chance is both good for our damage output and also could be really useful if we roll into a hunting trophy or something along those lines. Take another Scepter. Gummy Berserker. I guess I can take this. It's only 5% attack speed, but attack speed's really, really important for this character. and the minus armor doesn't matter at all. We will upgrade our Cursed Scepter here, so now that's every 10 enemies. That's awesome. The Lost Duck I will take. Cauldron's interesting. Pickup radius is not horrible, but not amazing for this character. The 20% bonus damage does mean that consumables will have a use, and the penalty isn't a big deal. I think I'm going to pass on the Cauldron, though. I'm just not that worried about it. We're not going to buy Weird Ghost. So Weird Ghost on the Golem normally is pretty good, actually. It seems counterintuitive because you can't heal, but it immediately triggers your Golem passive to give you bonus attack speed and move speed, which means that you just get a lot of extra wave clear for the wave after you buy Weird Ghost, which is why I bought it in my attempted run. But obviously we can't buy it because it crashes the game entirely, so we just don't get to buy Weird Ghost, and when it shows up in the shop, that's just an item that we don't get. I like that our max HP is reducing quite a lot here, or our HP looks like we've been taking a lot of hits, even though we've taken no hits, because we can't heal, so when we gain max HP, we're just at partial HP. That was so many... The damage absorb from all of those lampreys spawning was so high, it just stopped me from killing a big group of enemies, which cost me a lot of health there. So it might not have been worth it to kill that blobfish, because it cost me a lot of money by absorbing a lot of damage there. Let's take the one range damage. I just need a little bit more flat damage. And then again, I was almost going to take this armor, because it looks very enticing. I'm going to roll past that crit chance, and I'll roll one more time here. Hopefully we can get something good. All right, we'll take some crit chance. I keep getting Weird Ghosts, which I need to remember not to click on. Let's roll here. Take a Gummy Berserker. So Piggy Bank is interesting. This character, I think, is a Piggy Bank character, potentially, because we're going to be really weak later. But right now, we're pretty strong. So I could afford to maybe not spend for one wave in order to get some piggy bank income going. The challenge is that we have an elite coming up, and I'm worried that we just don't have the damage to kill the elite right now. Even with 57% attack speed, the base damage of our weapons is just so bad, because Ghost Scepter is not a high damage weapon at all. So if I don't get stronger this wave, there's a decent chance that I won't be able to kill the elite. So I think I'm going to pass on the piggy bank, but this is closer to wanting piggy bank than many other builds are. Go ahead and upgrade our weapons, and then roll. The Scared Sausage here, I probably should just take it because even though it's only doing 1 damage on the burn, right? So it's not going to actually steal kills from my Ghost Scepter. You're usually worried with ethereal weapon builds about taking other items like Cyberball, Baby Elephant, that kind of thing that can steal kills from your Ghost Scepters, because you want every kill to go to the Scepters to maximize your HP income. This Scared Sausage, though, we're basically spending 60 on 2 Curse, and I think that's a totally reasonable exchange, so I'm going to do that. And then I will buy the Compass as well, and the Lost Duck, and I probably shouldn't have done that last reroll, but that's okay. Lock the Dangerous Bunny here, and even this late, the Wheelbarrow is going to be pretty nice. The Piggy Bank, just to dive into that decision a little bit more. So I could have bought it. We had 300 materials-ish in the bank. So we would have bought it, gone down to, for 90. Gone down to 200 materials. If I then don't spend anything, we get 40 back. So we've effectively lost 50 materials, but also not spent anything for a full wave. I can probably make 500 materials this wave, at which point we'd have 700. And then I could make my money back by saving 500 materials. But then we're going into an elite wave, and we are 700 materials of spending lower than another character than we would be without the piggy bank in order to get the piggy bank income. And I think that committing to just being 700 materials down is too dangerous when we're going into an elite wave. And as you can see here, we didn't even make that much money this wave because our damage just isn't that high. So you really need to be aware of that kind of thing when you're looking at buying piggy bank. I will take the eye patch. Yes, the accuracy loss is mildly annoying, but the extra piercing is still good. Gambling token will get me closer to dodge cap, which is great. And then I can just get to dodge cap. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I'll take the Dangerous Bunny and Wheelbarrow. So this is some economy items that we are buying going into the elite fight. The metal, I think I'm actually going to pass on. 3% damage. The max HP isn't useful. 3% and neither's the armor. 3% damage and 3% speed. I just don't think is worth 126. So I'd rather roll for something that can maybe help me kill the elite. Do I want the baby elephant? This will steal kills from my ghost scepters, but we are already at 170 HP, so I'm less concerned about that. And it's a cursed one, so it's going to add a lot of damage, and we're struggling with wave clear, so I think I will take it here. Let's roll one more time, and then we can upgrade our weapons, which is really nice. Do I have enough to upgrade both? That's 130, so yeah, I don't have enough to upgrade both. Let's go ahead and get the level 3 scepter. Oh no, I do. I just completely counted wrong. So, alright, we'll just buy both, and then fight the elite. So I don't think we're going to have the damage to kill the elite here. Let's see. Oh, maybe we will. As more and more enemies spawn, I'm a little worried that we won't be able to keep up our DPS on it. Especially because this is one of the elites that dashes past you. So it's harder to focus damage on it specifically. I could take damage down to half in order to get the attack speed bonus from the Golem. But I'm concerned that because this elite probably hits me for like 80 damage or so, if I take one hit down to half and then take a second hit, I could just die. I think breaking that blobfish may cost me the elite kill, because those lampreys just absorbed so much damage from my weapons there. So it looks like we're not going to get the elite kill. That's okay, we're going to go kill these trees. I misplayed that fight a little bit. If I wasn't going to be able to kill the elite, I definitely should not have been focusing damage into it, because that cost me a lot of money and a lot of max HP. I don't think increasing enemy damage is that bad for this character. It does multiply pretty badly with our armor, but we're already dying in 2 hits anyways, so I think that the starfish is fine. We currently have -3 XP gain, so I could take the black belt. I think I will. I think we'll get 1 level out of that. I've been buying XP gain items more aggressively on the Abyss, just because they're so valuable for increasing your stats, and it's harder to increase your stats on this map. And also, the money on this map is more backloaded. You get more in the later waves compared to the crash zone, so you can afford to buy XP gain items later on, because the money comes later on in the run. Normally, I would combine these 2 Ghost Scepters and get another level 3. Because we have this cursed one and it's a Scepter, I'm going to go to the level 4 Scepter. Now we get an HP every 6 enemy kills, and we'll just grab this level 1. Tardigrade also an amazing find, because of course when an enemy gets through our 90% dodge, this gives us 1 more hit. So now we die in 3 hits instead of in 2 hits. Crystal, we intend not to take much damage, and attack speed is very, very good. So let's go ahead and grab the Crystal there. And then I will lock the Propeller Hat and Gummy Berserker. I almost locked the Lemonade. I'm just going to do a quick check and see how many healing items I've bought on autopilot. Looks like none so far, so we're doing well on the Golem front. So I really need some more base damage. I have bought 2 Peaceful Bees, which reduced my range damage, and that's part of why we're struggling with wave clear. I think that those were still correct to buy, because getting to 90% dodge is so important to this character, and they do come with a little bit of harvesting. But the lack of range damage is definitely something that we're feeling here. Got a dodge there. Okay, so we lost our Tardigrade. But that does still, our Crystal still stacks up, even with a Tardigrade. So Tardigrade and Crystal are also a good combination. One downside of finding the Crystal is that this character actually could use Blood Donation or Bloody Hand pretty effectively. We don't really care about taking damage unless it's in huge instances like enemies are going to be doing to us. So 1 damage per second is not that big a deal. But because of how we've bought Crystal. Now it'll turn off our attack speed buff, so we don't want to do that. I'm going to take the 8% damage. Our percent damage is very low, and here I will take some more attack speed. Just need as much of that as we can get. Buy this and then roll. Take it to go Scepter, and then roll. Another eye patch. We already have 3 piercing, so we don't really need our weapons to pierce more times than that. We have 3 piercing on critical hit. Do I just buy this for 3% crit chance? I don't think so. Keep upgrading our scepters here. Really nice that we keep finding these upgraded scepters. And then the power generator is awesome. We have 20 speed already, and percent damage was a real issue for us, so we're very happy there. The main thing that we need now is just ranged damage, just flat ranged damage. Finding this tardigrade also makes this run a lot easier, I have to say, because before that we were in danger of dying in 2 or maybe 3 hits to an elite. Now we get 3 or maybe 4 hits of leeway. And when you're the ghost, the likelihood of taking 3 hits in a row is, 1 in 1,000. Now, normally, 3 hits in a row matters because you're healing up in between those hits. This character isn't healing up in between the hits, but still the likelihood of taking many hits in a given wave, if I only have, if I only walk into enemies 4 or 5 times in a wave, let's assume that I'm just gonna make a lot of mistakes and walk into enemies a lot. If I walk into enemies, 10 times in a wave, the chance of taking 1 hit there is pretty good, because 1 in 10 times on average, we're going to take a hit. But if I then have 1 hit to give, the chance of taking so many hits that we die becomes vanishingly small. Feel free to do the math in the comments on exactly how many attacks it will take to kill us, with and without tardigrade, on average, if you want extra credit points after the video. Let's roll here, and we'll take the insanity, because the crit chance that we've gotten is pretty good. Blast cannon is excellent. We're very happy with that. I don't need the leather vest, because additional dodge is not important when we're already at 90% dodge. On the other hand, chameleon is interesting because this is just 5 curse for minus 2% damage. How worth it is 5 curse on the chameleon? I think it's pretty worth it. It gives us a little leeway to buy items that decrease our dodge, and that's not totally useless. But mostly just, I think, buying any curse that you see on the Abyss is such an important component of your economy that it's very much worth buying curse items, even if they don't do anything for you. The more I've played this map, the more I have come to that conclusion that you should just buy every single cursed item that you see. Alright, so we lost our tardigrade. So now we've only got a couple more hits remaining. Let's see if I can kill that tree, but this is a horde wave, and there's a lot of enemies, so... Did I just take a hit there? Yeah, I took a hit for about 50 damage, so it looks like we can take 4 hits or so before the end of the wave. With 90% dodge, but lots and lots of enemies on the field. I'm not sure that we'll be able to avoid taking 4 hits. This is starting to get pretty spooky. Yeah, so we took another hit there, and that one was for almost 80 damage, so we might not even have 4 hits. But you can see why I was so happy to find the tardigrade, because we only had to get unlucky a couple more times there to die. Tardigrade gave us quite a lot of additional safety bubble. Let's re-roll here, and I'm going to roll one more time. Really looking for flat range damage. Okay, nice. The cursed alloy, and this is why you want to buy everything cursed that you see. Cursed alloy is incredible. 5 range damage and 9 crit chance is exactly what we need. And then also the -3 dodge. Handily, we just bought the chameleon, so we put ourselves over dodge cap by enough that we don't actually go below dodge cap for having that. Again, I'm going to pick up the Tyler here, and we'll take the Cyclops Worm and then roll. Lure I will still take, even though obviously we can't use the regen, and Sunglasses is going to be an amazing find as well. This is such a good illustration of why you should buy all the curse items, by the way, because I talked about that and then immediately found a million powerful curse items that are going to help with the run dramatically. That Horde wave was obviously pretty spooky, because we took a lot of hits and got pretty low. Now that we found a bit more damage, though, I'm feeling a lot more confident, because we can clear the enemies a lot more effectively. Now, it is true that there's a lot more cursed enemies on the field, because we fought a lot of cursed, so all of those enemies are more dangerous, absorb more hits. Ethereal weapons are a little harder to use on the Abyss because of Curse, because so many enemies have buffed HP. And also just the enemies overall have higher health and do more damage, so ethereal weapons, which are weak weapons overall at dealing damage and also need to get lots of individual kills, are worse on this map because enemies have more health and do more damage, and there's a mechanic that makes enemies have even more health. I'll take the 15 attack speed here, and then we're going to buy all of these things, and then roll. Upgrade our scepter here. Very happy, by the way, with the decision to go to the level 4 curse scepter, because we've got 124 stats out of it. We'll take this scepter. Pile of books, 3% crit chance, and we have no structures. I guess we have the Tyler, so that could crit, but I just don't think that's worth it. I'm going to just save my 18 here. We've got 2 items locked, so we're pretty happy with that. We'll go to the next wave. Alright, so this one likes to run away from you. But we have a lot more damage now than we did at the last elite, so we should be able to kill it pretty quickly. Try to get this loot alien as well. Something that I should have been more mindful of in earlier waves before we had a bunch of damage was trying to not always just killing the blobfish because of how many shots the lampreys absorb, especially if they spawn with curse like there. I mean, even when I just killed it just now, killing the blobfish cost me like a full 2 seconds of wave clear while I was just shooting the lampreys because they all spawned cursed. And absorbed a ton of damage because of their very high health pools. Yeah, I'll take Sif's Relic, even though the 3 armor isn't useful. I just love this item. Honestly, I think for maximizing your chances of winning this run, you wouldn't take Sif's Relic here because 172 materials is really valuable. But I love this item. I'm never going to turn it down. Padding is kind of fun. That's going to give us even more max HP, which we will not be able to heal up during the wave. So we're going to potentially... It's possible that we could hit the point where we hit the 50% HP threshold for Golem to trigger the Golem passive without, like, during a wave, without taking any hits. And that would be pretty funny. Let's roll here. I really want ranged damage, but I'll just take some crit chance. We've got quite a lot of crit chance already, so I can build around that more. Take the silver bullet and another ghost scepter and a wheat, and then roll. Level up the scepter and roll. And cursed fishhook, definitely. It will only have 1 round in which to potentially perform, but maybe it will. And then, yeah, I do want to lock both of these because we can still level up our scepters. I was checking that we had enough scepters to combine that we could buy both of those, because it's possible sometimes when you find like a level 2 and a level 1 like that your weapon levels just don't allow you to buy both of them without selling something, in which case you don't lock the level 1 because you're never going to want to sell a weapon to buy a level 1 weapon. The great thing about this build is that we've just ended up with enough damage that we're just not taking hits anyways. Because I built up my economy early and then my damage later on, and that's how you play the game. I did think this has been... we had that one slightly spooky moment with the Horde wave. This hasn't overall been that scary a run. Oh, nice. 4 range damage. That's exactly what we need. But I think that's in part because this is a very snowbally run, and if you make good decisions, then it's going to look... Oh, I don't need the baby gecko at all. We have this relic. Obviously, I shouldn't have bought that. If you make good decisions, like not what I just did, then it's going to look like a very, very strong run, even though I think overall it's on the weaker end. I'm going to lock all of these items because we have the cursed fishhook, so we've a 33% chance for each of them to become cursed. That's a very strong chance that we get a good cursed item. I often get, whenever I mention that I've had to redo the first couple minutes of a video or whatever, I often get the question of how often does that happen? How often do you have to restart because you lost? How often do you have to restart because of a crash or because you forgot to turn on your microphone or whatever? The answer is very, very little. I'm extremely lazy. I don't redo videos. I post like almost everything that I record, unless there's a severe technical issue. So you just see... Every time I play Brotato, pretty much, you see it. Take the treasure map. It's not going to be useful, of course, unless we happen to get lucky in these last two crates, but I like that item. And then Cauldron could help with the boss fights. It's 20% bonus damage, and Clockwork Wasp, of course, is more move speed, which is also more damage for us. Then let's roll again, and we'll take some more attack speed, and we got the Cursed Lantern. That's pretty fun. And then we're very happy to just buy all of these items. This level 2 scepter, we almost aren't able to buy, but I think combining and buying the level 2 is still going to be good here, and then we'll buy the level 1. This Cursed Eye Patch could have been fun, as could the Frozen Heart, especially if we got it cursed. We don't have any elemental damage right now, but if you get Frozen Heart cursed, it ends up being a lot of bonus damage. And then, none of these items, except the lure, actually are particularly good for us, so we wouldn't have been that excited about them. But let's go to wave 20 and see if we can kill the elites. Or bosses, rather. So typically you want to focus on the whale boss before the snake boss, because it's the more dangerous of the two. But the snake boss is the one that happened to spawn next to me, so we ended up focusing on that one first. And we have defeated both bosses, and that was a pretty clean run, I would say. We had like one moment of tension in the Horde wave, but other than that, I think that we mostly just bought the right items and made the run pretty clean overall. I think that this combination, like I said, is very snowbally. It'll either look terrible or excellent. I do think it's strong on the whole, because both of these characters are totally fine. So if you combine them, they make a reasonably powerful combination. Taking a look at our economy items here. Let's see. We actually didn't get that many early economy items. We got Fertilizer and Little Frog, but those were not... those don't like grow over time. We saved 325 on the Dangerous Bunnies, so those paid for themselves, though. With the reduction in reroll price, Dangerous Bunny is less of a priority than it used to be. Used to be this item would always wildly overperform, and now you usually make your money back off of it, but it's not as exciting as it used to be. The tardigrade was excellent, obviously. I don't think we ever got within one hit of dying, so it didn't save our lives specifically, but it just gave me a lot of insurance. The recycling machine, we never recycled anything, so the recycling machine turned out to be terrible. In part because I bought a bunch of items that I shouldn't necessarily have, or took out of boxes a bunch of items I shouldn't necessarily have gotten. Treasure map did not end up paying off. But mostly, a lot of this came down to buying cursed items early, finding the powerful items that we needed. Starfish was very good as well. That was a lot of extra economy for us. And just making sure that we had the damage to continuously build HP and continuously clear the waves. Alright, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this look at the ghost that can't heal. Because, of course, why would you be a ghost if you could heal yourself? And as always, if you have enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out a ton with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks! I'll catch you next time.